What's up, YouTube? Jeff Fuel EDC here, and tonight we got a cold steel knife to check out. Very cool knife. So this, my friends, is the cold steel AD-15. This knife had a lot of hype behind it, and for very good reason. This knife, yeah, let's get into it. Let me show you how fantastic this knife is. And let me start off by saying I never really was a huge fan of cold steel knives. I kind of got introduced to them. Well, I got introduced to them by Jimmy Slash. I started seeing all his knives and started looking at them. I think I started off with the Colossus. That started me down this path that I'm going down, and I really am continually impressed by cold steel products. And this knife is absolute grand slam. So as you're looking at this knife, you can see it's got a very unique design. This thing, you got these OD green G10 handles on both sides. You got an aluminum, what they call the yoke, which is for the scorpion lock, the scorpion style lock that they use on this knife. As you can see, it's milled out there, giving you kind of like a jimping effect, but it is sub flush to the liners there. You got a reversible pocket clip, which is pretty good retention. It's got some spring to it. It's not bad. It is right or left hand, tip up carry only. You got a dedicated lanyard hole there going through the pocket clip. It is dual thumb studs, as you can see, right next to that very aggressive jimping on the spine of the blade. It is a manual opener on phosphorus bronze washers. As you can see there, if you watched my unboxing of this knife, I had a difficult time when I first got this knife. Now I've been carrying it, I've been using it. It is smoothed right out. The action on it, it's pretty good. I can spidey flick it. It's not, I'm not gonna boast that it's fidget friendly, because it takes a little bit to get it going, and it's not the most comfortable action. It really isn't. And you know, it takes some technique and some getting used to, but after a few days of having it, and I took it apart and cleaned it, lubed it up really well, and as you can see, I can spidey flick it now. So as I was saying, you got S35 VN blade steel, made in Taiwan, cold steel. And then you can see the AD-15 there. It is a drop point blade with a saber grind on the edge there. You got a very, very decent finger choil there with some very rugged jimping on the back there. This knife, it'll do some work, guarantee that. So it is a tank of a knife. The length on it closed, you're looking at right at 5 1/4. Then open, right at 8 1/2. Your blade length itself, just a shade under 3 3/4, probably about 3.6, somewhere in there. And your cutting length's going to drop down just a little more, right at about 3 1/2 inches. Where are my calipers? There are my calipers right there. As you can see, you got fairly thick blade stock, not terrible. I mean, it is. You roll this swedge right here, and then it widens back out here at the point. You pierce something with this thing, it's going in, it's going to do some damage. 0.153. And back here at the handle on the yoke is 0.508. Let's get the scale out here. And like I said, it is a tank. It's got a little weight to it too. So you're looking at 6.6 ounces and 187 grams. So with all the technical data out of the way, let's get into the dislikes and the likes. One of the things I don't like about this knife, I don't care for the pocket clip. You look at this knife, it's greatly designed. The scorpion lock is very inventive and just really kind of futuristic. Just took a lot to make this knife. And then you look at the pocket clip. The pocket clip's very simple. It just seems kind of like an afterthought, and it does kind of create a hot spot. I mean, as you got it in hand, I wish that they would have. You can see how it ramps up here, and then it swoops down, and then it's got a little upswept here. I wish that they would have brought this down just a little bit, made it a little more low profile, and then I think a lot of that hot spot would have been alleviated. That's my opinion. I believe I've actually thought about taking this off and trying to straighten it out a little bit myself, but I don't want to put too much stress on it and end up damaging it. I wish that they would have gave us some color options here. This knife right now it only comes in OD green on the G10. I wish they would have gave you some color option, black, red, maybe orange, blue, whatever. I wish they would have added a few options in there. It is what it is. You can always writ dye that stuff and change it to what you want. The next thing would have to be the billboarding. I'm not crazy about that. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes that look a little bit tacky to me. I don't know, maybe they would have put it back here on the yoke. I get it, I get why they did it, but it just kind of, it misses with me. It just kind of, it looks a little bit tacky to me. Cold steel on this side though, I mean, this is small, fine print. It just, maybe they would have done that in the same font, same style maybe. On that side, it wouldn't stand out as much, but I get why they do it. I understand it's obviously not a deal breaker. It is what it is. Let's get into the likes. So the fit and finish on this knife is superb. Minus the pocket clip, I really wish that they would have put a little more time and effort into the pocket clip, but other than that, this thing is superb. A lot of detail. It's a great knife. Very, very, very fine craftsmanship. I love the blade steel S35VN. The shape of it, it's a great. It'll make a great chopper. It's got a lot of belly. It's got that swedge. It'll do some work. Next thing is the jimping. Between the jimping and the texturing on the handles, this thing, the grip on it, it's not going nowhere. Once you lock it in, it's really not going anywhere. It would take quite a bit of force to get that out of your hand. The grip on it, it's amazing. They did superb with that. With that being said, these knives, I've seen them, I think I got this one for $149, and now they're going for like $159. I think they kind of realized maybe they could get more out of it, which is bad on them. I mean, you already set a price, kind of stick to it, but it is what it is. And they're kind of doing like the whole Chavez thing to me again. I'm kind of noticing that, like, they're releasing these things in small runs. Like, you'll see them pop up at Blade HQ and Knife Center. You'll see them. I ended up getting this. I missed out and on the first run, and like a week later, after the craze went on, Knife Center came out with them. Hey, here's a small thing, and it only lasted like 2 or 3 days. But I do recommend this knife if it's within your budget, within your means. This is a killer knife. It really is. I'm really getting turned towards cold steel here lately. The Ultimate Hunter, this guy, the AD-10, Formax, those style knives are just really, really been in my interest. Right now I got the AD-10 in pocket, so be looking for that guy coming out within the next week or so. I carried this knife for a solid 2 weeks. Occasionally, slipping in this one or that one, just so I could kind of stay up with my reviews or my overviews, if you will. This one, it's in my top 5 in my collection. I absolutely love this knife. With that being said, that's all I got for you guys tonight. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.